Hello everyone, we're back to more for the 2024 Stone Burner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow. We're doing our coverage of the group stages for the competition. I do definitely have to say that now having covered a few games here and there, that this is a much harder job than it was covering XMO. Obviously, this is a lot more earlier on in the game's lifespans. There's a lot more learning, but definitely from a hosting and commentary point of view, trying to work out exactly what people are going to do sometimes is very, very difficult to go with. You know, in XMO, I think we got to a point where it's a lot more easy to kind of see what's going down the line. A lot of this at the moment is we're just kind of winging it and seeing how things fly as we go, which is, you know, a bit of a different experience, but we'll rock along with that. Also, I have had a couple of folks ask me if it's possible to kind of highlight the cards being used on agents' actions a little bit more, which is a fair point. I'll try not to do that. I can't really highlight cards in people's hands, though. We used to do that, or try to do that a little bit back with the XM mod, and it's a bit of a tell as to what people may or may not be trying to do. So I can't really do that, but I'll try and make a better job of showing off the cards people are using. But mileage may vary slightly. If they're going at 100 miles an hour, I'm actually not going to keep up, so I'll do what I can. Anyways, we're covering Group S here today. Here's a look at the table, and this is the 6th out of 8 games overall for this group here, featuring Videll, 9 Soldiers, GreedyGrill, and ACrzyGuy. Things are quite finely poised here in the group as well. Jinx currently leads it with 14 points, 2 wins from his 3 games, but he is going to have some company by the end of this one. Whoever wins this match is going to feel they're in with a very good shot of trying to make the top 2 and automatic qualification into the quarterfinals. A reminder that 3rd, 4th, and 5th will also qualify, but have to go through an additional wildcard round to make it there. Videll, Soldiers, and Grill have all had 1 win out of their 2 games. ACrzyGuy is the only one that is currently winless here. You will notice that GreedyGrill's average points rating is not that great. He won the opening game of the competition just about, I think, playing with Muad'Dib, but his second game had a pretty crushing 4th place, hence his average point rating is not looking too good. The tie breaks after points is matches 1 first and then average points, but that huge deficit could come back to bite him later on in this. I suppose we should make a special mention as well for ACrzyGuy, who has become somewhat of a resident memer amongst our community on the Discord on that. I imagine those of you that are more familiar with us will have seen some of his work on our media page, and I will admit Crazy's done a lot of already good stuff. So I guess if I have any dog in this fight, I would love to see him win and campels himself up for the higher up the table. But it will be stated that as far as Beast Fogo and Michael Wild are concerned, they'll be hoping that he has a pretty disappointing game so he can keep chances of a 5th place alive for them, as well as everyone's only got 1 game to play after this. So this is a very big setup game for these 4 players to give themselves the best chance of qualification in their final match. All right, so get ourselves ready for the match here. So Yellow's starting off for the first time with Kendrick. That is ACrzyGuy. So No here, which is 9 Soldiers, will be choosing first. Look at what's going on in this game here. We've got the High Council and Acquire Spices Flow contracts. I think this is the only 2 contracts in the game that give faction bumps, which is definitely notable. And one definitely kind of plays into the other, but both are kind of hard to get straight away, so we'll kind of see how that goes with regards to that. Having some fun there. Imperium row is okay. It's not too bad. A couple of strong cards here. Smuggler's Haven is going to be of high desirability. Turning 4 Spice into a point is obviously really good. It's a nice spy maker spot as well, so it can find itself. It's a bit tricky to use. Junction Anchor also can generate points, but can be a bit difficult to get hold of. True Trance, Beast Spoils, and Unswerving rounding that out. Nothing outrageously great, though, I would argue. As for the leaders here, who are we missing? We are missing Muad'Dib, which is nice to get Muad'Dib in most games, truthfully. And we're also missing Amber, which I don't think is going to be too big a deal here. So Gurney Fade I can definitely see happening. I wouldn't be surprised to see Staban might be tempting. If Staban goes further down the road, given 2 chances out there, Staban might try and pick up that. But it'd be a bit dangerous if he played and didn't get hold of it, someone revealed took it ahead of him. That would be a big problem for him. Alright, and so it'll be interesting to see how things go here. The fact the row is not incredibly awesome means the likelihood of someone revealing early is less likely, but if Staban does get picked by anyone, then that could definitely change that whole idea of things. Irulan gets taken in 4th position, which is interesting. I don't know how much I like that, truthfully, because Shaddam is out there as well, and if Irulan and Shaddam are both chosen, they're going to be kind of on each other's toes a little bit, I fear, so that could be a little bit awkward, but I think Irulan in 4th is always solid, and, you know, can't be too bad a pick. Maybe has ideas of taking Unswerving Loyalty. It's not a bad card to take into your hand first round. The extra troop is deceptively good, I think. Going in 3rd, not a huge surprise. I imagine we'll probably see a fade out there, but there's no real spy stuff either. Margot might be of interest. The band does get picked in 2nd position. So, he figures that he's going to get either Smugglers or he's going to go Truth Charms. Will Staban consider revealing early for Smuggler's Haven? Could definitely see that happen, but we'll see. And then it'll be Crazy to pick next. So, yeah, Fade seems probably the pick and is indeed. So opening conflict is going to be the Solari Mouse Skirmish here. Everyone would like a little bit of a piece of it. The two mouses, mouse symbols are 1st and 2nd. Gurney in 3rd. Everyone might try and poach this as well a little bit. Try and pick up like a cheap 2nd place or something. Opening hands aren't too great though for a lot of folks. Fade has pulled nothing great here. Load of Persuasion, but nothing really actionable. Staban has his ring, but not his Seek Allies. Gurney's got Faction and Ring. Irulan pulls everything, both factions and ring, which is a little bit awkward. Also, there's no great candidate for trashing out his hand. Recon is about it, so Irulan might have to skip the ring first time round here. Fade opens up with Arakeen with the Recon. Not a huge surprise there. Trying to draw Arakeen does find faction access, so bails himself out of trouble a little bit here. He might commit himself to the fight. It's going to be pretty crazy as well. Like, Fremenax is going to go to players 3 and 4, which is very unusual, but Staban definitely does odd-fire this. Early Hagger Basin, and with the money means that Staban is looking to go Spice Refinery and just basically get himself to Swordmaster immediately in round 2. It's a decent combat to try and go for that, truthfully. Going, you'd imagine we'll just go Fremkit a lot here. What's Irulan going to do with double faction access in hand in this sort of situation? It's a bit awkward. If you even had one, maybe deliver supplies. I think I'd rather go deliver supplies instead of desert tactics. I don't think this is a situation for tactics, not with your hand. Deliver supplies and maybe do it full early to start making progress on your passive seems not too bad. I think desert tactics is asking for a lot of trouble. Oh, he's going to go for it though. Wow. Irulan's going to trash out Recon here. Next hand is going to be double Dagger, double Dune, and Convincing. And Irulan's going to insert herself into this. Surely you're not going Desert Tactics to trash and not deploy here. Yeah, this is a bit harrowing. This I don't know. I think Irulan could well have suited just deliver supplies, hit another faction spot, maybe like Secret or something, and commit to the next fight. It doesn't match you. I know you've got position, but Fade's committing himself to this fight. Staban's going to commit himself to this fight. Gurney could decide to commit himself to this fight once every now and again. I don't know. This is fraught with danger. This is really fraught with danger. And when you're trashing out your Recon, not even a Dune or a Dagger, ooh, this is very high risk. Could go horribly wrong. If Gurney does decide to just chuck it in, like, what are you going to do? Fade's got his Diplo. He feels he's got to put in more troops is the problem. He feels he's got to try and win this fight. Is it worth giving up Diplo for it? I could get behind it. He's at 6 persuasion now. I don't think he's going to go after Junction Headquarters too much here. Staban's got his ring, so there's no way he's early revealing here with 6. I can't see him revealing for Smuggler's Haven because he would have just played his ring. He must be gearing up for Spice Refinery and figures he's just going to get his Swordmaster and working out from there. So Fade's going to go Basin. Staban's going to go... Well, this is going to do a favour for Irulan here. Fade goes Basin, ditches Diplo to get the troop in. Staban is going to be off to Spice Refinery, which means Gurney will not be able to deploy any more troops of his ring. He's going to have to think of plan B here. Gather support, I don't mind. Gather support, you give you a healthy garrison. Or do you reveal early and just take Smuggler's Haven now and take it away from Staban and Fade? You know, I don't hate it. Like, your ring's nice, but it's only one troop. It's not a big deal here. The ring's good for shock factor, which you do not have. Maybe that Smuggler's Haven might be more useful to you here. I could get behind an early reveal. Might also go Assembly Hall of Dagger targeting Junction, which is what he's going to do here. Pulls off Imperium Politics, which is a great intrigue for him, though he has no money. But he's after Junction. Junction, even if you don't get the Alliance, is still a healthier reveal of the Troop Water and Persuasion. So Irulan... Wow. Irulan's hoping to draw a Dagger or a Dune to trash here. Because she's surely never trashing Convincing. Gives up the Diplo as well. No one went to deliver supplies here. I am a little surprised. Taking the Acquire bonus, but you're not going to be able to cash it in for a while. I'm a little surprised to see, after the Desert Tactics trash, to use the ring as well. I'm surprised. I assume she's taking Unswerving into hand here, rather than trashing. If it was the Dagger, maybe, but I can see her picking it up. I wonder how Irulan's ring works. She can either, acquire a card of one cost from the row into the hand, or she can trash a card from the hand, and if it's something that you've previously bought, then you can trash it for spice. Sardaukar Soldier turns up next, though, which is an amazing card for her, but I don't think it's going to get to her. I think someone's going to pick it up. Either way, curious opening round. I think Irulan's a little bit fortunate how this has gone down. Fade with 5 is going to take it. He'll be a relieved man. To give up your Diplo, you hope you still win it. What do you go for here? Truth Trance would be a major blow to Staban, but he also interested in Haven. Junction's a little bit too far out your price. I think Smuggler's Haven is just a point generator. It's hard to turn it down, but decides to go for the overall faction access. So Staban gets Haven, having taken 2 actions, which is quite a surprise. I can't believe he's been allowed that. That's kind of wild to me. Gurney takes Junction. There's a look at the reveal there. You see it's pretty healthy. And then Irulan with 5. Leadership turns up. Covert Ops as a nice solid card. Rhetoric's there as well. It's pretty popular. Maybe Rhetoric and Sardaukar Soldier? Get behind that. I think Rhetoric she's going to take regardless. You know, that, use and dump for a free bump is always attractive. So I'd be surprised to see... that turned down, but I don't know. But I would definitely take Sardaukar Soldier. It's like one of Irulan's best cards. Trashing that in hand for the intrigue, 2 spice. Oh, peels off Strike Fleet. She can't get it. And Staban, well, Staban was going to be first to reveal a lot of the time next round, but he's going to get Swordmaster, so how's that going to work? I wonder if GreedyGrill might actually sacrifice Swordmaster, assuming no one else can get it, and he'll pick it up round 3 to try and reveal for Shuttle Fleet early. Or Strike Fleet. We'll see. Anyways, nothing to play here. Sacrifices were made on this round, for sure. Staban gets some cash, which is what he wanted. Gurney will feel happy enough he didn't commit heavily. He will be off to the Fremen and getting his Siege access. But both his City accesses are in his hand, however, unless he pulls one. He does not. He misses. So that's not ideal for him. Arakeen is next. Fought to matching conflict here. Arakeen is very, very, always highly desirable. A lot of people hit it. Most popular city space in the game. And of course, people see that money and people see those troops and are thinking pretty happy. Gurney, you'd imagine a lot of time is just going to go to Desert Tactics and just blast it in. Just to see what Staban does first, however. He's got his one faction access card. What does he want to do with it? Does he just go Friend Kit? He's repulled his ring, which is also interesting. His Persuasion in his hand is also terrible. I don't think he's ever getting a Strike Fleet here, so... But it'll be faction. He will take Swordmaster this round. Unless he manages to pull a big card off a Friend Kit and a big card off Spy Draw. It's about the only thing he's got going for him to try and... And then if he gets, like, both his Convincings, I think he might go Strike Fleet. But it's a hard ask. I can definitely see him going Friend Kit, though. He wants to draw and see if he can find his way to Strike Fleet. It's obviously an incredibly powerful card. Well... He's not going to be able going to off that. He finds Smuggler's Haven. At least he knows where his spy's going. It's any maker spot. Obviously, Hager Basin's where he wants it, though. So, Gurney, of course, off to Desert Tactics. This will all go in. Irulan's refound her ring, but that's it. Might Irulan go High Council contract here? Thinking that she can get the bump there, and it helps with the acquire bump. I could definitely see that happening. I think I'd be playing my Signet Ring first if I'm going to draw, though. Because if you draw, like, your Diplo... Wow. Well, what an absolute result that is. She's actually pulled the Silent Soldier, which is the best card she could have found. Huge. I mean, if you pull it a card that you're going to trash, you'd trash it anyways, but what an insane result that is. Goes to the Harvest contract instead, which is a little surprising. Don't know how she's going to pick up some don't know where that's spice is coming from. Although saying that, she's got the trash with the Signet Ring. So actually, this actually works perfectly, because she can go to Imperial Basin, and she can harvest the spice, and then trash the articles, and it generates the 2 spice to harvest. So, yeah, Irulan's the one person that can kind of get around that. It's the way her ring works. Harvest contracts are only a case of, well, you just got to do a harvest action, and then gain that much spice over the course of that round, or that turn. It's pretty wild. Anyways, Faye just rockets into Refinery to get himself ready for next round. He'll take the Espionage Spy, almost certainly, and does. Very common for Faye to do that. So Saban, I assume, is using a dagger to do this. I don't know where he's going to Signet Ring, however. Not a ton of places for him to go, truthfully. We'll see. Might he try and fluke it at, like, Assembly Hall? Try and find, like, Manipulate or something? Gurney Hallett might just reveal here. Ooh, he goes for Basin in the Spice. Ooh, I don't know. I think Strike Fleet's such a good card. I think I would have revealed there. So powerful. One of the best cards in the game, probably, Strike Fleet. And if you can, and you could get your spy onto Hager Basin before Staban. He didn't use his ring there. Oh, it would have been huge. I think Gurney's missed a trick there. I think that would have been a really, really good moment to take some initiative away from Staban there. He got a little greedy. Not using his Signet Ring there. Should have punished that. So Irulan will trash that. She's pulled a Diplo, which is obviously not what she wanted to see, but that's what happens to you draw at the end. So she does not get the Harvest contract, though. She never harvested. That was blocked by Gurney, interestingly. But does get the intrigue from the trash as well. Finds distraction, which is nice. She could put in all 3 troops here and actually kick that off. Maybe Irulan could put that to Espionage herself, perhaps. And try and make life difficult for Fade here. So if he ever draws the spy from Espionage, he wouldn't be able to put the spy back because Irulan's would be immediately there. I think that might be a cool move. Or she's just going to take the Arakeen and basically play as like a pseudo... I don't like Arakeen. I think you should go to a faction spot of some kind. I like Bene Gesserit. Fremen is also fine. I think any faction's probably okay here. I think you're better off doing it to a faction spot. I think, yeah, that's fine. Although it's a bit awkward. Worm Guy's going to be on your right, so it's not ideal. Fade's got his faction access. He might as well use it. He'll just go deliver swords. First person to go there this game, which is kind of crazy. And Staban is going to get his Agabase and Spy. Again, can't, you know... I think Videll will look back and think maybe that would have been a cool move, and it would have been a really cool move. Now Staban gets absolutely gobs of value out of that spy, out of people using the space and from his cards, so that's a huge result. He gets Strike Fleet anyways because of his persuasion, but it's a little late. He just puts the spy on space, which is fine, but I think I would have given up the 1 spice to get it on Hagerbase, and I think that was worth it. Anyways. Irulan with a couple. We'll take Calculus. Solid card. I'll start showing off some of the cards people are playing when it's the not base deck cards. And Staban will just start acquiring the spice here. He's going to be very rich on those resources. Couple to buy. I don't think he should buy anything. Oh, he's got 3 actually. Covert Operation then looks pretty enticing. It's a ton of spy generation he's got. Might as well, I guess. And it's going to be all of it. So Irulan will take it down. Very happy with the Arrow King win here. Nothing for Gurney. But he gets the 4 Solari and the troop. Unfortunately, it's not enough for him to get to Swordmaster before Fades, so a bit awkward for him. I wonder if Gurney might decide to hit, like, Emperor or Spacing Guild early and then look to Imperial Politics to get the relevant space. I don't know. We'll see. He's round freezer. Trome Security is the combat here. This will interest Gurney greatly. He does have, obviously, he can get to seats for hooks, but I don't know if he's going to be allowed to get the Haggar Base in here. This is a combat where players may well actively try and stop him from getting there, specifically Fade. Fade might just hit Haggar Base and block him here. It's such a big worm fight. I think Fade has to consider it, especially given his hand is not great. He's also not pulled any counter access. I think Fade has to consider a Haggar Base and block here. Just the damage that's going to do to Gurney. Because Gurney's going to go absolutely hammer and tongs here if he can. And Fade's the only person that can block it. Some people are more prone to blocking others. We'll see. Anyways, Irulan will use Rhetoric. I don't know where she's going to go. She's just going to use that to go Fremkit. Maybe even like to make a push on the Alliance. I could see that. I think she's pulling the Spy. She's going to double draw here, I would expect. Because her hand is not good. No, keeps the Spy there. The card is lost, however. Think of a calculus later on. On Swerving Loyalty, by the way, you get the troop generation. What in the... Well... That's a new one. The tokens sometimes do weird things. They're a bit more temperamental than they were back in Iximo. I think we had like a meeting of the minds, or I don't know. That was very, very curious. I'll leave that to your imagination. When a mummy counter and a daddy counter get together, no. So. I don't know, Irulan could make a punt for the Fremen Alliance, but it's kind of difficult. Just decides to go for a Benny bump, which means she's probably eyeing up some Prepare the Way cards. Although I think I would have been taking the Emperor bump there. You want to get that extra intrigue ASAP off your ability. It's hard to get that. Also, I'm surprised she didn't pull that she decided not to pull the Spy. I think if you're not going to pull the Spy because of Calculus, then you might as well make a play for the Alliance. Kind of a bit, I don't want to say it's a nothing sort of move, but I feel like could have committed a bit more heavily one way or t'other. Does Fade make the block? I think it's worth it. I mean, 3 spies for your water is not bad. That gets you to espionage, and it blocks Gurney, which I think is very important here. I think this is the right call, and he does recognize it, so I think it's a strong move here. Letting Gurney have that worm in this would have been just a little bit preposterous. It's basically giving him a victory point just for going to Haggar Base, and I think that's a forced block. That's the thing with Uprising. You've got to be more willing to make those blocking moves. Iximo, it doesn't necessarily pay too much, but in Uprising, you've got to be a bit more responsive to your opponents. So I'm glad that he made the block there. Staban has Covert. He's got his ring. He's got 3 actions, of course. Yeah, I'd expect him to maybe play his ring to the Emperor and then just hit the Emperor. Is there ever a time Staban maybe goes base in Sardaukar and just garrison up, putting a troop here, garrison up for later on? He's got a lot of city cards coming. Doesn't even play his ring. Okay. Takes the High Council contract, which I think is important for him. The current contract's now got the money contract, which people always do like, and Arakeen is there as well. So we'll see what Gurney's going to do here. He's got Junction Headquarters in hand, but obviously it's for just revealing for now. How he's going to get that alliance, I don't really know. Politics helps, And he will try and make a play for it. So just Arakeen, he'll probably just put the troop in and call it a day. See what he draws. Wow. Well, he pulls Strike Fleet, which means the troop does not need to go in here. Those 3 swords and the dagger is plenty. It's a heavy overcommit, this. You really don't need to put in that troop. 12 swords, like 8 swords, 8 strength is going to do it here. No one's going to compete with you. No one's got any water for, like, research station. Just making sure that I get... It's an alliance he does put one piece of, but I think you could keep that, especially off Strike Fleet as well. Don't think you need to put that in. Anyways, Irulan goes to Assembly Hall, picks up Cunning, which is a nice little card for her actually here. Use that next. She could use that next round to trash like the dagger. Fill her deck down quite nicely here. So it's one of Irulan's better kind of like subtle intrigues. I think is Cunning. I quite like it. Fade's got his Diplo. Should use it. Kind of hard to go like tactics. You could go tactics and trash the dagger, but it's really hard to put the troop in when you've got no daggers in your hand either. But I could see maybe going desert tactics sometimes. I imagine you just go espionage would be my assumption. I don't know what his next card is to draw though. I assume that he knows. Ooh, is his Truth Trance card. Ooh. I mean, it gets the spy up to the... it gets the spy up at least to that, so I guess that's okay. If you get to your Swordmaster next round, it's fine. Kind of hurts to pull Truth Trance, though. Esteban just putting his spy down here. He'll be making his way to the Emperor, but no one's going to be able to discard any cards here, so the operation isn't going to do anything. Picks up an intelligence report, which is a nice one for him, actually. He's got those couple of spies, so he can get full use out of that. If a big card comes off, he will go for it. So going with +4 swords. Yeah, I think really could have saved... not put in that 4th troop. The 3 initially makes total sense, but I think it's important for going in a game like this to have a constant garrison presence and just threatening Strike Fleet all the time, either in playing or reveal. I think that's an important bit of psychology here. No one else has got really a heavy combat engine, so that's something you can really try to dominate. He's got 3 persuasion, and on top of that, like he's he's got 4 actually. Does he ever go beast spoils? I don't think he goes beast spoils. Coordination's there. It's probably the card he's meant to take. Rebel Supplier. Kind of hard for him to make a use out of. I think Coordination's fine. Faction Access is always good. If you find a weird time to get yourself to Sardaukar, that could be a really left field troop deployment. You can almost just send it to Gather Support as well and put in some troops. Goes for Rebel Supplier though, so he's going for heavy troop presence. But he's got to get spies down on the cities, and I don't know how he intends to do that. So Irulan with 6 gets the troop in garrison, courtesy of Unswerving. Could try and draw more, but I think that's pretty fine. Pricing the object turns up in the next card, by the way. That is an automatic take here for Irulan. There's no debate there. Surely you got to take pricing the object. The money... Faction access. You can use that as well to trigger the acquire contract as well, because you can use that to obviously acquire a Spiceman's Flow directly into hand, so that would satisfy that. High Places comes off, which Fade will take next. That's a nice card for him as well. You can start lifting a couple of spies for some Spiceman's Flows. Oh my god, and Stilgar comes off next. Wow. I don't think Staban can get it, though. He's looking at his deck here, but I don't think Staban has any more 2 persuasion cards. And if he does, he'd have to nail it. Yeah, he's looking at his deck here. He's got 4. Fade would have to put a spy down here. I don't know where he's going to put it, though. All faction spots are taken. Council spot he's got ready for next round. Might just take the Arakeen spot, I suspect. Yeah. Not a huge surprise. I think it's fine. If you had access to shipping, I'd say put it there, but I guess this is also okay. Sorry about that. So Staban does use covert operation. Everyone's revealed, so no discarding. Doesn't pull the spy, so he doesn't make a play for Stilgar. I guess he figured he couldn't get it. Should just take coordination then and call it a day. He has got intelligence report. Maybe he's considering... Wow. Oh yeah, he has got intelligence report. Surely you play that to try and get 2 persuasion for Stilgar. It's such a big card. Doesn't even take... Oh, it takes coordination. Didn't play for it. That's a brave... Obviously just didn't fancy it. Did not fancy the odds. I would have been really tempted. Still, Gurney overwhelmingly wins this. Irulan will take 2nd place, which is pretty nice. Staban will get the intrigue. And the re-garrison. Oh boy. One of the biggest intrigue cards in the game. Unexpected allies can just win matches sometimes. Win matches that you just had no right in winning. It's the only intrigue it's the only way in the game as well to get a worm into combat without the use of any hooks. It could be big. Gurney also pairs his combat, and we're going to move on here. Took the Arakeen Water contract, seems fine. Got espionage and the other Arakeen contract, which I quite like actually. The Troop and Spy, I think it's really strong. So move on here. Round 4 upcoming. And Shadow Contest it is. Benny Bumps will be of interest here. Gurney is going to be hard to keep him away from putting worms in. Deep Desert is building up as well. Like, Gurney getting any water here looks absolutely insane. And between Siege, Deliver Supplies, Arakeen, and Gather Support, you ain't going to be able to keep him away. So Gurney Halleck is surely going Deep Desert here. And is going to take this down. It's going to be hard to really see how he doesn't win this. Irulan does have the matching Fopter, but outside of our Highliner here, hard to see how she's going to win. She's looking at obviously drawing and using Cunning. Now is the time to use it, if you're going to use it. And I think Irulan should use it. Fade's pulled... Wow, what a hand for Fade Ralph, by the way. Fade Ralph has pulled double faction access along with his ring and 2 daggers, but he's got no garrison. Staban has got Smuggler's Haven. He might just play it to Imperial Base and just take the point, but he wants to be using it to hit the Spacing Guild. So maybe he's going to wait and hope that someone goes Hager Basin, particularly Gurney, to try to hit the faction and cash point at the same time. So what you want to be trying to do is Smuggler's Haven, but I don't think anyone's going Basin. I don't think Gurney's going there. No one is challenging him for worms here. Like, if Irulan went Siege, maybe that might persuade Gurney to go Hager Basin ahead of time. That's the only thing I could think of here. Other than that, I don't... I would imagine Gurney's going to make the play for Deep Desert. He might make the play for Deep Desert anyways. It'll be a question of what does... Do you want to commit here? Okay, it's managed to resolve itself. Maybe I'll remember to cut this out of the video. Pulls convincing. Irulan's sitting on 8 persuasion right now. Has to go Swordmaster, of course, because of the fear for Fade. Do you just trash the other dagger at this point? Seems fine. I imagine Countless is going to go to Prime Kit, maybe for the double draw. She does have interest in Stilgar here, of course. Might make a play for it. So Fade has a faction access spot he can go to first. I don't know what Fade's going to do. Do you just hit espionage and double draw? Put the spy back where it was? Seems okay. You'll be okay with the fact that you're not intending... Whatever you draw, basically, you're not going to be using. I suspect we'll probably see that. No, does decide to go deliver supplies. Okay. Does Fade Ralph have some research station antics in mind here? It's bad for Staban as well. Staban, of course, wanted to get there, so he'll just go base and take the point now. But I think he did have intentions of trying to deliver supplies there, so not ideal for Staban, though of course he does score. So what is Gurney Halleck going to do here? I assume he just goes Siege and blocks Irulan from hooks. That's my assumption. It means he'd have to give up Diplo is the only problem. But doing this means he doesn't get the deep desert unless he's willing to use his spy, which he is willing to do. I thought he'd want to keep that for later on, truthfully, but he decides he's going to spend it now anyways. So Irulan doesn't need to go to Siege here. She'll hit espionage herself. Oh, she pulls Price. She pulls Price as no object. That's a bit awkward. Not the time she wanted to hit it. She wanted that next round. She's kind of like late persuasion, but it's a bit awkward here. And it's hard to use Price. Remember, Price's ability is to you pay Solari to put a card into your hand here. And there's some options, but it's not what you want to be using it right now, so it's a bit awkward. Anyways, Fade Swordmasters, Staban Councils, gets his Benny Bump. Gurney will Deep Desert. And it's hard to see how he's not going to win this. To the point where he won't lose it. Question is, how much is Gurney going to commit here? Gurney committed really heavily last fight. I have a feeling he might just commit it all again here. Pretty much. Videll has showed he's more than happy to overcommit for fights and just guarantee him. Some people are more happy to ride the line than others. So what on earth does Irulan do here? Considering Fremkit double draw, I don't think she can hit Spice Must Flow here is the problem. I don't think she's got another 2 persuasion card in her deck that I remember, but it's a bit hard to keep track of cards in this one. But I think she will double draw here. And try and hit it, I guess. Nope. Finds Unswerving Loyalty. Trooping Garrison. I mean, you might as well put in a couple here. The question is, does she trash anything? Might just trash Unswerving here, truthfully. I could see that happening. She will not get the Spice bonus. Only gets the trash bonus if you use your ring. I could see her maybe considering it, thinking, well, I mean, it's done its purpose. You've got no Fremen Bomb if it's the problem. Unswerving is really good if you've got that Fremen Bomb. Being able to retreat or deploy a troop is very strong. You know, that +4 swing is nice. It's kind of why I like Shout-Out Mapes in Rise of Ix, or Immortality, I should say, specifically, for normal Dune Imperium. Like, it's deceptively good, that. It can make you really tricky to play against, but won't bother to trash, which is also fine. Fade used his dagger to go Swordmaster. Why on earth did he not use his ring? Surely you just use your ring, trash a dagger on the track, and then use your Truth Trance. Right? That's twice now you've pulled your Truth Trance and not used it. Even if you just go into, like, Dutiful or Secrets or something. Yeah. And Fade's not putting any troops anyway, so I think it's a bit of a misplay there, unfortunately, from Crazy. Not really sure why he uses dagger there. Staban recons. That gives Irulan High Council access later on, by the way. That 5th coin. Staban with a couple of troops looking, obviously, to secure 2nd place. So Gurney with 6 has to take Stilgar here. And Gurney is quickly becoming favourite of this match. And if he can find his way to the Spacing Alliance and even maybe get a junction point, it'd be enormous. Irulan has got 7. Treacherous Maneuver's next one to come off here. Bit of a tricky card. Some people look at it as just like more expensive Truth Trance, but if you do have the Emperor card in your hand, you can double bump. And she does have a couple. Calculus and Price as Price as an object are both Emperor cards. Guild Spy comes off. And Fader Alpha can't take it, but Staban 2-ek can. Interesting thing, though, is all the faction spots are blocked up. People like taking Guild Spy, of course, just revealing Bicycle Foes and get tons of bumps. But Staban won't. He'll take the card for sure, but he's not going to be able to put the Spy on a faction spot. I don't know where he's going to put it. They're all blocked. Probably just put it on the council. Maybe on the seats for hooks later on, I guess. Not a lot of spaces that really make sense. It's about either siege or council spots. The only two that really make any lick of sense to me. Might put it on Basin. The idea being it gives him a second make a spy spot. So if he decides to commit to one, he's still got the other. Ensuring one is like a future draw. That's what he decides to do. So, still no combat cards out there, so Gurney takes it. We'll take a couple of intrigues. Staban will get second place, Spice, Intrigue, and the Troop. And Irulan basically trades a Troop for a Spice, which is, you know, that's kind of what you used to do back in the old Dune Imperium days, so, you know, you can live with that, I guess. Having one Spice is better in Uprising than it is in normal Dune Imperium, just because Espionage is half the cost of Selective Breeding. Is Espionage just a better spot than Selective Breeding? Discuss. Anyways. I think it's, I think because of the way spies work, it might well be better. Staban picks up the Ornithopter matching symbol, which is no good to him. He only finds special mission for detonation stuff, which is pretty brutal. And he also finds contingency for those 3 swords, which is always nice as well. So I think Gurney will be happy. We'll move on here. I guess officially you say, oh, hold on, shouldn't they pick it in whatever order? I don't know which order it is, but it's all random. I'm not too worried. There's no way to put intrigues on the top of the bottom of the deck, so it's like, yeah. There are people that bothers, and there's people that doesn't bother. I'm one of those people that doesn't bother. But if you want to voice your disapproval in chat and say this game is null and void and we should restart, then I understand. Though we will not be restarting, because this happened like a week ago. Round 5 is Spice Refinery. Second city conflict. No worms available, but Gurney Halleck might just blow the wall on this one. And it keeps Irulan away from hooks. This is the thing. There's only one other person getting the hooks, and she's constantly after Gurney. So Siege has a lot of value. Paul's Junction. Gurney might have some temptation. Oh, he has no spies down. That's a problem. Gurney, I was thinking, might have some temptation to go shipping to then use politics to get the space islands. The problem is that he'd still have to hit a city spot, basically Basin, in order to cash in the point. But he might be willing to do that. I think the 2 routes as Gurney that make sense is either Siege or you go shipping. Especially if Fade generates some spice here somehow. That might put a bit of pressure on Gurney. Gurney might try to go Siege shipping and then Imperial Basin. I could see that route happening. Fade's just going to go ahead and hit Espionage. Gets no additional ability because there's no Abeni in play yet. So just gets the normal draw here. Just hitting it and re-putting the spy. You see that a lot of Espionage. You just hit it, double draw and put the spy back. Cooperation is played. So players have to discard a card in turn order officially. Fade doesn't like it. It should be Gurney to do it first officially, but yeah, it's up to the table to police. Gurney should just get rid of the dagger here, right? And I assume Recon Siege, Dune shipping, and play Junction, and get rid of like contingency or something. Maybe even get rid of special mission. You kind of want to keep that detonation card on hand. I think that's what I would be doing here as Gurney. I think that's the way I would be kind of planning out this round. Not guarantee I'm going to get it. Depends if he wants to blow the wall with Siege as well. But I do think he should go Siege first. He's in no danger of shipping if that's what he's intending to do. And again, he has no water either, so he can't get to basin. No, he gets rid of... Ooh, what's going on here? So he does go shipping immediately. So Irulan can get to Siege here, and I think absolutely has to. Absolutely have to get to Siege here. And get hooks, you'd think. Or she's just going to pick up spice. No, she contracts. Apparently no one wants to go see the Fremen today. I think you've got to be hitting Siege there. Well, she pulls Calculus, which... That's the problem. If you're going to draw there, like, you kind of always got to draw the ring. It's a bit awkward. I don't know. Funky one, that. Is Princess Irulan going to trash Calculus of Power with Signet Ring while going Haga Basin or something? It would register both harvest contracts. She'd get buckets of money. What's she doing with it apart from High Council? She's got no privilege access. Steban's the only person that can go there. And Steban would like to get there. Like the Ornithopter intrigue not helping him here, so that's a prime candidate for trashing. Does Fate just hit Haga Basin for spice here? His next part of the track here is either up for a trash or down for spy and spice. It's a bit longer. We're on round 5. If he takes the bottom route, I think it's a bit unlikely he gets to the end of the track, which he would like. He might opt just to trash the Dune that he's just had to discard. If it was in his hand, I think it'd be a bit more clearer to take the spy and spice route, but I think he might... I don't know, we'll see what he does. Pulls the dagger. I think trashing the Dune that's discarded, I think, is not too bad here. Nope, decides to go back to Arakeen. 7 persuasion in hand. It's going to be hard to get Spiceless Flow here. Yeah, I quite like getting rid of Doom. I think it's more important than the spy here. Especially with all the faction spies being caught up. And you've got no real, like, council access of any kind. You've no money. I think I prefer trashing Dune and just getting it out of there. Unless you're going to put it on Assembly Hall and you're looking to dagger immediately. But that's more faction you're not going and using. And you're kind of behind on factions here. Let's see what Fade Alpha's plan's going to be. Like, he can Assembly Hall and probably get the Spiceless Flow, but it comes at a cost. Steban's hand is pretty brutal here. I would expect to see him play Intelligence Report, I think, a lot of the time. He can't get to Basin. Except Contracts isn't really doing a lot for him here. Yeah, I think that's why he's kind of having a little look here. I think you might see Intelligence Report get played to give him better options. Seems a good time. Oh yeah, by the way, I just realised I was suggesting Steban like a free agent trip. I just realised, hey, of course, he doesn't have his Swordmaster yet. He goes as a contract anyway and spends the spy. Doesn't use his ring. So it looks like Gurney is... Where's he getting the spice from? No, he's just gonna hit this. So he did think he's gonna take the Basin route. So he's got to trash an intrigue, face up, and pay the 2 spice. So contingency has to go. It did seem likely he was gonna do this. I guess he figures he's got to get the I guess he figures he's got to get the spy on Arakeen while he still can. While it's vacant from Irulan and Faye, which I guess makes a degree of sense. I say, Gurney is definitely favourite in this match, though. No question about that. Big favourite. at the moment. But he's only got one more faction point in Fury to get hold of here, and he's not really set up for Spice Must Flow, so... I don't know what the ping is about. Oh, there's latency again here. That's what's going on. So... It's only him, so it's on his end. But yeah, I do think, you know, Gurney's definitely finds it in a good position, but he's got to close out this game. That's the only issue here. It's also notable, by the way, that he gave up getting his Swordmaster here because he felt it was that important to get to Imperial Basin, which I think probably is correct. Like, you'd hate to go Swordmaster and someone goes Basin. That would suck. So I totally get just committing to it. Iran will take the Fremen Alliance. Does she give up the spy now? I don't see why. 4 persuasion. I don't really know. I don't know if you make the draw or not here. I'm not convinced I draw. Did decide to draw. Well, she finds treacherous, which is at least an intrigue, so I guess that's better than nothing. Does have a trash. Might as well trash the Dune in play, I guess. Guess she figures she doesn't need the spy anymore. She's pretty confident she's going to hold on to the alliance, but I don't know. I'm not sure I don't think I bother double drawing there. The row's kind of not great. You ain't getting Spice Must Flow. Nah. Elon might as well trash that. It does. Stepan's in on with all the intrigues here, so it'd be nice to have one elsewhere. Phage is going to hit Assembly Hall with his draw and hope to get Spice Must Flow, and he does. And he pulls Truth Trance for the 3rd time now. He's had Truth Trance in his hand and not used it. It's got to be the worst diplomacy card I've ever seen. Yes, I am encouraging you to make a meme with this. So Stepan puts his spy on the Fremen with his ring, which he can pay 2 Solari for an intrigue, which is what he's gone and done off the refinery. Finds Devour, which is not doing a ton. He doesn't have any worms. It's basically just +2 swords. He's a bit nervous of being secret stolen here. He might play intelligence now to protect his hand. He might not bother. He certainly should at least limp into this conflict, and does. Arakin's been a busy old spot this game, given there's no Margot. I think Stepan would want to use intelligence, but he just does not want unexpected allies going to an opponent here. That's such a power intrigue. I don't think he really wants to draw, but I think he should use it. He's trying to hope to get to the... He's thinking, can I just get to the fight here and Irulan doesn't go secrets here? Problem is, the longer you take about this, the more interesting it is for Irulan to go secrets if you don't do it. And it is an alliance to fight for here. She might do it. I think he's got to use it, and he does. So he pulls 2. Recon pulls Haven, which I guess he'd be happy with. He didn't have the spice for it at the moment, but he would have got the spice for it from the conflict, so maybe he's not too happy about it. Well, is what it is. Gurney adjusted the spice. Irulan's still got an action here. Remember, she's got 7 persuasion. But she can't get the Spice Must Flow. High Council, she have to use her ring and she'd be at speed at 8. Which is no good here. You could prepare the way with a High Council, but the problem is convincing is in your discard pile. I don't think she can get the Spice Must Flow here. I don't think she's got any more cards that get her there. Oh, no, she does. Price is no object is the only card that gets her there, I think. She's still 1 out of 3. But she might also feel she wants to win the fight. It's a matching pair for her. It's a second city as well, which could be useful later. I think she might commit herself to the fight here. Off Basin and, yeah, and just cashing that spice while she still can. Yeah, I'm not a total surprise, this. Feels she's got to win it. This also gets her up to 6 spice, so she can consider highlining and then get the spices for later on so that she can get the thing. Trashes the prepare for the spice. So she can cash in both harvest contracts here. So +7 Solari. But again, she's got all this money, but she's not really got anything to do with it. It's the only problem. She's got to put the troop in. So fades up here. He pulled mercenaries, by the way, off of Assembly Hall. It's nice little intrigue. You know, being able to respin the intrigue. A couple of troops is always nice. So gets the point. But he's struggling to get these faction points. It's a bit worrying. Staban will get the 2 spice. He's got 1, 2, 6 to buy. He might just take leadership for faction access and does. And then Irulan's going to reveal for 4. She gets an intrigue. Mauler pistol. Second unswerving. Might go for spy network just to put a spy down here. Could definitely see that. Put it on like the council or something. Fine tactical option. It's a nice little intrigue, that. 2 swords will be able to retreat any number of troops here, so it's kind of a bit of a proxy fight. I've done that once or twice. I've like committed really heavily against someone to make them use like a big intrigue, like spring the trap and just tactical option. I'm just going to treat everything. Sucks to be on the bad end of that card. I think she'll go spy network thinking it's worth it for the spy, and it's not the worst reveal. If you've got 2 or more spies on the board, you can reveal it. You can lift 1 for an intrigue, which isn't bad. Takes the other prepare, just, you know, shuffling between them. Does need to put a spy down here. So, other folks, tech issues there. So, apparently there's just some fun and games going on. So, nothing to be played here, as mentioned. So, Irulan will take this down. Doesn't need to play tactical option. Should be happy with that. Fade picks up Impress. It's kind of a funky card. There's 2 swords, but you get a card in hand. Very strange. But it's an interesting one. So we'll take the point. Gets a spy, which is useful to spy network as well. And Staban gets a couple of spies to be happy with as well. So, I don't know what Irulan's putting the spy. I guess just put it over there. Like, you've not gone seats yet. You probably should do at some point. Not a lot of spaces for spies left in this one. We'll move on. So, round 6. This video is going to be some fun games to edit. I know that. Wow, no, that is Basin. So, all 3 world conflicts come up here. Gurney pulls Strike Fleet and Rebel Supplier. Gurney Hallett might talk himself into blowing the wall here and going in for this. He's only going to be able to use one of those 2 cards, however. Cannot use both. He's only got 1 spy down. And I don't see any way for him to generate a second. Staban's up first, however. He's got Guild Spy in hand. 6 Persuasion. He's already got the High Council, of course, so he'll be making as sure as he can to try and get hold of the Spiceless Flow here. It's going to be a little tricky for him, though. I think he's just going to go accept contracts, Assembly Hall. I don't think Staban's going to get too heavily invested in this. If he gets a spy slot because of Guild Spy, he gets faction bumps with... everybody's got a spy, so Fremen and Emperor would get a bump as well. So I suspect he's just going to draw cards. That gets him to 9. He might just Assembly Hall So just so he can use his ring somewhere. I don't know. We'll see what he does. Anyways, harder contract taken. Makes sense. He might even try to pick up some spice so he can highline with Smuggler's Haven. But he need 9 spice total, but he could use it with Ornithopter. Maybe with see what happens. Gurney just takes the Swordmaster and waits. Irulan with an insane amount of stuff going on. So Prized Object can be played now, and she can just pay to get a Spiceless Flow into her hand, which will trigger the acquire bonus. She might go like Deliver Supplies. It gives her research station options next round. Oh, she's going to go Assembly Hall herself. Wow, okay. Well, that's not great for Staban. He was kind of hoping to get there, I think. It's a bit of a pain. Finds Shadow Alliance, which is a fun little intrigue. If you've got 4 or more influence with a faction track, the opponent has the alliance, you still get the point at endgame. So maybe some assurance for the Fremen. Might go for the Bene Gesserit and just blast it. I don't know. Bit of a weird card. Sometimes it's valuable, sometimes it's not. Fate has to start using his diplomacy cards here whenever he's got them. Surely just off the frame kit. Like he's gotta catch up here. Needs these points desperately. Will he finally use Truth Trance? I think out of principle he shouldn't. So what's the Barn gonna do here? I guess Arakeen he'll go to instead. The problem is it's kind of weird. He's got his spy. He can move with Signet Ring, but he can't do a lot with it. He can't even like go Refinery to make the cash to like pull a spy from a faction and put it back. So it's kind of just it's just an access card. Pause is other convincing, but yeah, he's got like the 2 spies generated here because of the contract as well, and he can't do anything with any of them. I can't see him shifting Hagar Basin, but he might. Where would he put it though? I've no idea. Staban does have the mouse, so he's going to commit in here, which isn't a big surprise. Staban needs to find a couple of water as well somewhere before this game is out, so he make use of unexpected. Say, wall is still up here, and I don't think it's going to get broken, so 3 out of 4 times, the next conflict is walled. He might move Hagar Basin. Yeah, he's going to commit himself to just trying to get to that, which I get. He's just ensuring his next combat. He might even use this with coordination to get the troops and gather support and put into the combat. I think that's what he's going to do here. He would not want to draw Smuggler's Haven, though. Here comes Strike Fleet. He's going to get the draw here. 3 troops generated, so he's going to have 6 in garrison, and he'll be able to deploy as much as he wants. I have no idea what Gurney's going to do here, though. He really wants the water. He also wouldn't mind just winning the fight. This also gives him his Arakeen contract as well. He's got a water up here. Pulls a dagger. Not what he was looking for. He was looking for something with some reasonable access. So, what does Staban commit? Like 4 troops? I think 4 I could see. Yeah. 4's like you're charging a price, winning's fine, but you're okay with second as well. It's kind of what it is. So not a huge surprise here to see that. Irulan wants to basically buy a Spiceless Flow and also regain a Spiceless Flow. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. She's at 9 persuasion right now. She's not pulled any access to High Council, so my assumption is Irulan is gonna go to Espionage and try and pull High Council access and get there, so she can buy a Spiceless Flow and also acquire one directly. That's my assumption of what she's gonna do here. Shadow Alliance makes this feel a bit easier as well. Doesn't find it. Irulan is stuck at 9. A little bit unlucky, you could argue. But out of the 3 cards, she's trashed High Council access, so it means there isn't a lot left in her deck here. I don't know what she's going to do. I think the best Irulan will have is deliver supplies, lift the spy. It's about the best I can think of here. Oh, Irulan! Pay the salary for the intrigue for the spice. What are you doing? Surely she's going to realize they should do it. They are having latency. The problem is it's not mandatory. There we go. So I can't tell them to do it. But they are having some latency issues, so I think there's a little bit of an overpayment there. Again, they're having, yeah, it's just what it is. But I think that's what Irulan will do, is she'll just hit deliver supplies and lift the spy and assume she's going to pull an intrigue. The card goes into hand, not into the discard, it should be noted. So she gets the spice reveal from this as well, which is quite a nice bonus. Truthsayer gets played. Tell me it isn't so. Yep. Oh, he doesn't use his side of card to do it. He's going to leave the spy there. I thought he might have considered it and put in more troops here. This is a bite he would like to win. I think I would have been considering going for that. Being honest. You know, you're behind here quite badly in points. I think I would have taken the gamble there, truthfully. Got the troops in and called it a day, but guess he figures he doesn't want to miss the spice must flow. The problem is he's terrified of drawing Smuggler's Haven. It's 1 out of 6. He's absolutely terrified of drawing. He does not want to do that. I think that's what's going on here. So he's going to hedge his bets a little bit. I think I would have probably gambled there. So, just the siege hit, no extra troops. I don't think Gurney will commit anymore, because Staban didn't. And Staban is, yeah, just, Gurney is definitely, I think, favourite here, but, he could get a bit unstuck. This next combat's going to be interesting. Again, wall is not down. Oh, he didn't blow the wall there. Oh, Gurney's missed a trick. Why didn't he blow the wall there? Not so sure about that. Anyways, Irulan just reveals for the spice must flow, does not decide to spin at the spacing guild, which I think she should have done. I really think she should have done that. I think that's mistake. Cashed in the contract, that should have been cashed in actually when the price of an object spice flow was done. That was also an acquiring, but in any event, I just saw that before. And picks up opportunism, by the way, is the intrigue here, which could be of some use. I might encourage her to not bother with any with hitting the factions, but she didn't know anything about it. Kind of run into Shadow Alliance, basically a nothing card though. So kind of a weird one. Players playing kind of a bit safe here. Like maybe it's just the way I view it, but I'd be probably taking more chances and kind of rolling a few more dice. But that's Uprising. Some people are more well into it than others. So Fade's got an action here. I don't really know what he's going to do with it. Could just go Refinery. Means gets mercenaries ready to rock and roll next round. I quite like that move, actually. Hit Spice Refinery. Just to power mercenaries. The extra money to Irulan doesn't matter. Can't go shipping. Imperial Basin feels kind of like a bit of a waste. Yeah. I just feel like you want to get mercenaries going. Mercenaries is a nice little card there, and how is he going to generate this money? So Saban will score a couple of points. Very reliant on getting to Highliner next round. But Irulan might block that. He's going to reveal for 3. I don't think he'll bother buying anything here. And Fade with a couple will be in the same spot. Might get a repair. I think it's okay. Yeah, sure. What the heck? Nothing to play here. Would Staban tie Gurney here? It's a guaranteed tie. Nope, not interested. Just letting Gurney have it. I guess he figures if he can get unexpected allies in, he gets a better hit off Devour. The problem is, you know, he's going to commit himself to last round. I guess if it was a match for Gurney, maybe, but it wasn't, so it makes sense. So Saban put everything into this next round here. Well, would you believe it? It's propaganda. There's no word. It's not walled. Wow. And Gurney Halleck is first to act, has Hagar Basin, and he's got Stilgar. Oh my holy goodness. Wow. Well, what do you do here? You feel like you have to hit Basin, right? He's pulled Junction, but he doesn't have any intrigues, so he'd have to, like, send Junction to Assembly Hall? It is a point. Well, you might end up pulling an intrigue that you really want. I don't know. Bit weird, that, but he might just do it. Gurney has to go in here. Irulan is... Irulan is playing ahead of time. It does give you the prompt saying it's not your turn. That's why I didn't bother saying anything. I just let him crack on with it. Gurney has to decide right now if he's going to try and commit to this fight or not. Having just seen Irulan try to go to Siege, that would suggest she doesn't have Highlander access. That might tempt him into fighting here. Because if she's got Highlander access, surely she'd want to get in there before Staban does. So I think Gurney Halleck's going to go Hagar Basin. Oh, he's going to go Research Station. Well, he feels he needs better access. He pulls his Diplo. Wow, okay. Maybe he also feels that just getting the worm on the bump here is not that relevant. He'd rather just get weight of numbers in. Well, well, well. If you stack them too high, it doesn't read them all. So Gurney decides to research station instead. Maybe he's trying to hedge his bets a little bit here. Try and find a spiceless flow as well. So Irulan will go Siege. Staban Tuek has Smuggler's Haven. He will not be able to get the spice for paying for that N Highliner in time, though. So Staban's got to make a decision as to what he wants to do here. He might opt to give up the Haven point just to get Highliners, knowing that he's got his worm in here. Trashes the Spice Must Flow for the couple of spice here. Price of no object has also been drawn, so there's a point there. Wow, what's she going to do here? This is an interesting little spot. I kind of think Irulan should just not commit any forces here. Not now. You might do later on. You've always got Hagar Basin sitting there. But did not pull Highliner, which I think is what she was looking for, though. Price is solid second place. We'll probably use that just to try and get in front of the Bene Gesserit Alliance. Like, she can definitely score 9. But I don't think she can score... Oh, she might be able to score 10. Benny Alliance and then just hits the Spacing Guild, shuts her eyes. Might do it. Fade goes accept contract. He's going to get a couple of spies here. Oh my goodness, but he pulls Highliner access with a Truth Trance. So I've got contracts out there as a backup in case it gets taken, which I don't hate. So we can recall here. Red looking to see if Highliner access is coming. It's definitely there. If Staban thinks this is last round, I think he's just going to have to go for it. If he can worm it as well, it's 4 bumps. Bene Gesserit Alliance, Spacing Friendship. Well, no, Benny Point, Spacing Point, Emperor Alliance. Minimum. Might even go after the Fremen. He's got leadership. He might go for it thinking he's going to have to stop Irulan here. So, 9 troops in if he wants to whack it all in. And I imagine he'll just punt it all in here. 5 plus 2 in garrison plus 2 in the contract. So 9 in. And Gurney's got to realise that it's pretty hard for him to win this fight. He's pulled his Diplo. I think he's just going to go Assembly Hall and just take the point here. He does. He finds Find Weakness, which... It doesn't matter what it is. It's not very good intrigue for him anyways, truthfully, so he'll be happy enough to just trash that and take the point here. But he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 persuasion at the moment. I guess he's going to go High Council, and it only gets him to 9, though. I think that's the route I'm taking as Irulan here. I think you've got to go Bene Gesserit, Calculus to... and then Calculus to the... to Spacing Guild. Oh my goodness. Well, that's an insane pull. The problem is she's now vulnerable to secret stealing, which is pretty wild. But there's not much you can do about it. I mean, just put the spy wherever, I guess. Doesn't really matter. You're not going to use it. Put it wherever you think someone might want to go, I guess. Council's a popular spot. Well... if she... So the crazy thing is she could consider highlining. She might use opportunism and literally give up the Bene Gesserit Alliance right now. She might do it. To protect Spice's power and think she can just go in. Because the thing is, Calculus of Power... Oh no, she has to use Calculus, so she can't get swords off of Spy Network. I think Irulan might talk herself into just taking opportunism, giving up the Benny Alliance, and just taking the guaranteed point here to protect Spice's power. It's such a... It depends if Irulan thinks there's any world she can win this combat. Now, we know the answer is no. But just leaving secrets there is a little scary. Fade Ralph could cause some fun and games here. I don't know if Fade ever goes secrets, though. 2, 4, 5. He's only got 1 spy down, so he can't reveal high places. Pick up 2 spies for 5. He needs to find another spy somewhere, so he's just going to go... Okay, so he's going to go dutiful. He's going to fight with high places, so he gets the additional draw. Here comes the barn with Unnatural. Unexpected allies. So the worm's in. And here comes the alliance chase. The thing is Irulan might now actually opportunism the Fremen alliance. Is the crazy thing. Yep. Does get the extra draw for the sandworm as well. That's why he did it now. So if Irulan doesn't think that Shum's Blue's going to win it, you opportunism the Fremen Alliance and you sack it off. The problem is that is going also giving Staban an extra point. Because he only needs to take 1 bump with all 4 factions to get a point on each of them. That's the only downside to this. Ornithop does no good to Staban though if he wins this, because the question mark here is a wildcard point, which would match with his mouse, which means Fopter doesn't match with anything if this is the last round. But I think Irulan's gonna have to make this the last round. And probably sack off the Throne Alliance and say, I think you just got to give it up here. It doesn't look defendable. Gurney's in action here. He's still got a turn here. He has to High Council. Oh, he Secret Steals. Oh, well, he finds Shadow Alliance. He actually took the gamble. Well, fair play for going for it. Irulan will breathe kind of a sigh of relief in a way. Finds market opportunity, which also isn't really doing a lot here. I think Gurney, I don't know, was Gurney meant to just go for the High Council and just take the point there? I don't know. But he doesn't. Irulan obviously has quickly DC'd here, so I assume Irulan. So interesting spot here for Irulan, actually. If Irulan, I think Irulan's meant to just go deliver supplies and take the extra draw here. The idea being is that if you're going to end the round and end the game, Spice Tiebreak could well be a legitimate thing here. But then the argument is you could go Highline, and as long as you get something out of this combat, you're going to get free Spice. So you're kind of getting a bit of a discount on it, but I don't see Highline being that relevant here. I do legitimately think as Irulan, I think I'm just hitting deliver supplies, take the double draw. Maybe you fluke the Spice as well. You're going to find Persuasion. You could fluke it. And then you just opportunism and sack off the Fremen Alliance, take the hard point, and end the game with maximum Spice and say, all right, Staban, can you get to 10 and like 15 Spice? No, so you got to get to 11 points. I think that's what I'd be doing here. I think that's the correct move. Does that make sense? I think so. Highline just doesn't seem a ton worth it. The only thing you could also... Actually, there is another way you could consider it with Irulan. She could Highline, knowing that she's going to pick up some Spice out of the conflict, and then actually use Spice's power to retreat through troops. And I think she actually... And that would give her +6 after -5. So I guess technically you would gain the 1 extra Spice. But I think it's more important just to hit and get the double draw and try to fluke the Spice Must Flow. If you fluke the Spice Must Flow, like, it's game over. You win. And the Spice isn't relevant. Like, pay a Spice to give up a chance at a victory point? I don't think it's worth it. So Irulan does indeed opportunism and preemptively give up the Alliance, realizing no defense available. Staban won't mind. He'll feel that he's in decent chart here. The problem is that, oh my god, Staban's actually got covert operation, by the way. That's not great news, although both Fade and Irulan have a Spice of Slow in hand, so it's not actually that big a deal. I guess it was a good thing that Gurney didn't go for the High Council play in the end, because he would have been denied it anyways, because surely covet's getting played. But I think that's the move for Irulan. Is... Oh, it's not a double draw at Spacing Kill. What am I talking about? I guess he's just Highline. I guess. I don't know what I'm thinking. Deliver Supplies was a double draw. I have no idea why I was thinking that. So you guys sitting there thinking, Shadow, like, what are you doing? Look, I've been sat here for 2 hours, alright? Give me a break. So you just Highline, and you're probably just retreating Spice's power. And just take maximum Spice and just win it on tie breaks. Say, well, if Staban or Gurney get to 10, like, I have so much Spice, I think I win it anyways. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the last round. It's guaranteed. Goodbye, Signet Ring. No one loves you. Fade is just hoping to try and fluke some points here, but it looks pretty bad for him. So, gets the recall and the card draw off of Sardaukar. So he scores a point here. He's going to hope to pick up a Spice Must Flow here. He can spy wherever he's going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. It's 8 persuasion. I don't think it really matters where he sends this. Or which one he recalls. The question is what does he spy? I assume he's going to spy up, like, Arakeen. So he can do a double draw. Is there ever any value for using... For going Spice Refinery to get mercenaries going? I don't think so. He pulled Depart from Arrakis, which also isn't really doing... Unfortunately, his intrigues are doing basically nothing. They're pretty worthless here. There's no way for him to get the money for Imperial Privilege. Imperial Privilege for him would be really nice right now, but unfortunately there's no cash. So I think Fade is just meant to go and put the spy on Arakeen, do a double draw with Prepare the Way, or triple draw if Staban doesn't go there, which I don't think Staban is going to go there. I don't really know where Staban is going, actually. I'm not really sure. And you just draw and get a Spice for Slow. I mean, it gets you to 8 points. Unfortunately, last place looks pretty certain here. Staban is on course for a 5-point round here, although one of those points he actually already has because of Ornithopter. Actually, no, Ornithopter doesn't do anything, actually. It's actually cut to user, so it's basically a 5-point swing round here for Staban. So Fade's just got to score what you can and maybe hopes something crazy happens. Hopes that Staban or like he manages to catch Gurney. That's a good point, actually. He is in sight of catching Gurney. Gurney's not going to win it. But the problem is that Fade still loses on Spice Tiebreak. And Gurney's pulled market opportunity anyway, so Gurney's going to be sitting there with buckets of Spice. So, doesn't look good for Crazy here. Staban privileges. Figures might as well. Get rid of Ornithopter, I guess, at this point, because you want to match. Finds Guild Spy. Backed by Troem is in play. He's got the +4 swords. They're not going to be that relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, he's even pulled Guild Spy as well. Although I don't think that's going to make a difference. Yeah, Guild Spy's not helping anything here. So Mark Opportunity's going to be played. And Irulan is just going to be hoping to win this on Spice Tiebreak, pretty much. Gurney did what he could here. Fortunately, Gurney can't... no value of Shadow Alliance. I don't hate the Secrets pull, actually. I think it was fine. Given that if you're scared covert operations can be played and you like the Spice as well. I think you're meant to go High Council, though. And if he plays it, he plays it. It's like, whatever. So, Irulan gets a Spice. She can pull a Spy for an Intrigue. Might as well. Might find something of interest. Fortunately, the Fopter Intrigue's just gone, so you ain't getting that. But strategic stockpiling would just win you the game on the spot. 1, 2, 4, 5. Don't think there's much else can be done here. Well, that ain't gonna help. I love it. She's got almost all the retreat intrigues. That's kind of funny. I think it's basically just the reach agreement. That's about it. So Fade has to triple draw Arakeen. We prepare the way, and you just have to assume you're going to pick up free persuasion amongst your cards. And if you don't, well, that's a pretty insane draw. Oh, he powers! Oh, he's taking a risk. If he he's got to, I guess. If you think you're destined for 4th, I guess you just gamble for mercenaries and hope you get there anyways. 7. 8. Oh, it's his whole deck! Oh, he couldn't even triple draw Araki. I didn't even realize how many cards he had left. Oh, in this case, this is the only move he had. Wow, that's pretty sick. Can he find anything to help him here? I don't know what can help him get to 9 persuasion. Wow. I didn't realize he had nothing else to draw. He finds strategic stockpiling. Oh, Irulan was one too soon. Oh, that's a shame. I don't think he can put in... Don't think he can put in 6 troops from Spice Refinery off mercenaries. Pretty sure it's just the 4, I'm afraid. Well, unlucky for Crazy, I guess. It's been a little bit unfortunate this game. I think he's been surrounded by a little bit of there's been nonsense going around him. But yeah, like missing Truth Trance 3 times and not playing it like that really hurts. Really hurts. Never got a chance to reveal in high places for Spice's Flow either, so pretty unfortunate. Staban's just going to try and find as many injuries as he can. He pulled Reach Agreement. Just mentioned about it. Figures I might as well try and find whatever I can. Uses his, whatever he used for it. Nothing to do here. He's thinking of retreating back by Cho'am, but you do not want to do that. You need a bump on each faction here. What is going on here? Oh, I guess he's thinking Guild Spy is going to get him his bump with the Emperor. So he's like, well, I'm going to get 5 bumps anyways. I guess technically this is better for tie breaks. Oh, he's doing it to rebuy an intrigue, right? Because of his ring ability. Okay. Well, he finds questionable methods, which I think he can actually use, although I don't think, again, none of this is really that important. It should be noted, by the way, that if he gets the bump from Guild Spy and then gets the Imbalance, he then cannot put the Spy on the Spacing Guild to get the bump, because this reveal is an atomic effect, so you've already get the bumps. It doesn't retroactively work backwards like that. This has been confirmed by the devs. Fade's got 8. He figures, I might as well just dig and try and find something interesting. I don't know what you could find that's interesting. Yeah, it's been unfortunate for Fade. He's given it a good spin. Not to be. It's going to put a lot. It's going to be all in for his last one here. So the +2 swords. This Ingot Frux though for Fade means that Irulan now can't retreat properly to get the spice back. Oh, he can actually put the spy down with covert, I guess. There's no way he can steal any alliances here though, so yeah, he can do this, but there's no alliances that can be stolen, so it's all kind of like none of this really matters, truthfully. I guess the barn does get the extra intrigue and some extra cash, I guess, is about the only thing that matters. You know, maybe he flukes a point. But it's not likely to make a big difference there. So nothing to play here. Does Irulan retreat the troops here? I guess she doesn't bother. She can't win. Only +8 swords is... +8 swords forces a tie, but Staban is almost certainly going to have the... Staban almost certainly has like some swords here, so... I guess you pass and see what Staban does. Maybe some players will throw out their sword cards anyways. It kind of sucks to Irulan to do this, though. She has to force the tie, and Staban pulls. The problem is, I think this might give the game. She has to do it, I guess, try and force a tie, but Staban can obviously just use any of his sword cards. Like, I'll be honest, if I'm Irulan, I think I'm not bothering to do this. He's almost certainly got this, and this might have given the game away. Although, unless Irulan still gets the +3 spice, I guess. She also gets an intrigue as well. So, is there going to be any late drama here? No. Contingency for Irulan, and by access for Staban. But Staban does get the pair. Which means that Greedy takes it at the end. Irulan does not find the way to 11 there. Bit of a funky old match, this. I think, you know, I mean, Unexpected Allies once again winning matches here. Unexpected Allies and Guild Spies, just, you know, it's pretty absurd. I mean, you think he gained, what, 6-7 points this round? Pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's just Unexpected. It's just such a powerful card here. So I don't see what else Irulan could have done. She found the Spicemas flows. She got 3 of them. It's kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird spot of opportunism. Like, she has to give up the alliance because, you know, and I think it just means Staban gets to score too many. So don't see what else she could have done here.
Your goodness. And they're actually ties.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have gotten here to get to the I wouldn't have gotten my point on my friendship on the Spacing Guild. That's what I secured with playing that one.
You're 1 spice off from going to shipping and get this bump, I think.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have any troops in combat, and I couldn't have challenged him.
I don't think there was anything you could have done. Like, I'm looking at it, I think you spun all the wheels you could, and you just had to hope to get there. Unfortunately, after you pulled this, the next intrigue off the deck was strategic stockpiling. Which is kind of funny, although I guess it wouldn't have made any difference at the time, but yeah, like finding an end game. Shadow Alliance didn't really matter, like losing that. You had 2 opportunities in the Alliance. I thought it just meant that Staban was able to score like 7 points in a round, and you know, when you have Guild Spy and you've got Unexpected Allies, like you just win matches.
Yep.
Yeah. That's covert operation, giving you the extra spy to get the more.
I mean, I don't think it mattered. He was always going to get all 4 points here.
Yeah, I was already getting those points.
He was already getting all the points. Like, it just let him get like an extra intrigue, basically. That was about it.
It kind of depended on the way I drew it up, because if I didn't draw a 2 influence card, I could have used this to go to Assembly Hall and then just get my Spicemas flow.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was getting there. There wasn't a ton you could do. You just had to spin some intrigues at the end and hope you got there. It was just if there was just no way to find the second spice persuasion buy. That was the only thing. Like if you get that, you're good. Like any other point and you feel you're probably good, it's hard to find a way to 11. You know. And obviously, yeah, as I say, like, you can't feel too bad. Like, you know, the guys, you know, you get all the stuff of Guild Spy, and then he's got Unexpected, like I say, it's such a powerful intrigue. It's so insane.
Yeah.
You know, and it just like on a fight like this as well, like it's just kind of. I think you got to shrug your shoulders a little bit. I can't see what else you could have done here. Maybe someone watching this might say, "Oh, if they'd have done this, and this." In the hindsight of knowing what was going to happen 30 minutes from now, then maybe you could have won. But it's like, okay, cool.
What? Second is decent.
Yeah, I think you played a good game. Like it was a bit tricky. You know, I if I was in your seat, I'd be pretty happy to say, yeah, I played good. I didn't win it. I don't think there's much I could have done about it.
No, Red really ran away early on.
Yeah,
I did, man. But
slowed down in the end.
But it's been such a long day, and then all the disconnects happened, and I kind of lost focus, man. It was kind of messed up, but man, you guys played well.
I think everyone played all right. Truthfully, I think there was I think just Red and Yellow just kind of got marginalized a bit here because of all the stuff that was going on. It's hard to keep up with the scoring that was going on the other two sides. Like, there's only so much you can do. So
this one really was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kept you in the game.
Salary.
Kept you in the game. And you found like 2 hits. You got 2 full hits of that, which is pretty crazy, really.
Yeah, that card is also kind of nuts.
I mean, in hindsight, I should never give you Smuggler's Haven.
No. That card is. I think it's one of the best cards in the game.
I think, I think probably, especially with Staban as well.
But I would also have been happy with the other one, of course. But
chooses chance there. Like, there was a couple of things I think that went your way like that. I also thought Gurney was going to reveal early for Strike Fleet and put the Spa on Hager Basin, but I thought that might happen, but it didn't. So you were able to get the spy there as well, and obviously that helped. You got your 1 hit off of Haven, which is kind of what you're really looking for, and it generated spies for you to do other things.
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone on the second one, of course, but I felt like the
high line you had to.
More,
you had to. Once it's open for you, like you've got to. That's something as well. Like if Irulan finds the Highliner access immediately as well, like it's a different story. But once
definitely.
Like you just gotta go for it. So I think you can count yourself a little bit unlucky, Green. That's why I never like doing that.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Anyway, all right. I'll let you guys some print screen and obviously get the results sorted. I'll get them sorted out as well. And
I'm writing it right now. I'm almost done.
Yeah, I feel as well. Like Staban, I think's had not a good run so far this competition. So, maybe. Sometimes you take what's preventing you in front a little bit. Maybe had a little bit of run here and there, but win's a win.
I think he can be.
There was not enough faction access to take Staban in 4th for sure.
No, there's no way you can take him. Like even in 2nd, it was you're hoping you get to Haven. Truth Trance is okay, but if someone does reveal early for Haven and then Truth Trance gets taken by first person, like Staban's.
I was actually considering revealing early myself, but given the nature of my first hand, I could set up the Swordmaster.
It's the combat to do it. I think that was reasonable. He took a gamble, got there, and paid off. Cool. Right. Well, I will let you guys go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll catch you around.
Thank you.
I'm kind of curious on your commentary. I like to watch the game.
Well, I've got to do some editing. No thanks to you. No, it's not your fault.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I didn't mean to.
It's fine. I'll sort it out.
I'll just be myself for giving you Smuggler's Haven.
I mean, I will say before it goes here, this has got to be the worst Truth Trance I've ever seen. Like 3 times it didn't get played. That was pretty brutal. That hurt a lot. See, a couple of them.
I mean,
he drew at the
get
end.
activated one time, just one time.
Yeah, 1 out of questionable. Never mind. It is what it is. Anyways, I'll let you go. I'll catch you guys later.
Take care.
Thank you.
So here's a look at the tables at the end of that match. Releasing very tight at the top. Jinx, Grill, Soldiers, and Videll all within a point of each other. Grill does have the beneficiary of the second win for tie breaks, but his average point rating still the worst out of the 4. So it means if Soldier and Videll win their last game, it will put a ton of pressure on Grill to try and match with the tie breaks. Unfortunately, a bit of a distance, and it's a bit of a scrap for 5th place here between Crazy and the rest of the pack here. It should be noted that Crazy and Fogo meet with Jinx and Soldiers in their last match, leaving Beast and Mugwild to play against Greedy and Videll. That is the last 2 fixtures there, spread across the fixtures here. If one of the bottom 4 can win the last game, they'll feel that they'll be having at least 1 foot in the next round, but it's going to be all to fight for. But other than that, it's going to pretty much do it for us here. Definitely a very curious little game, and people having to kind of change their plans a little bit on the side. Greedy, I think, definitely took some chances early, and that's something with Staban too. Like there's a lot of value to be had with taking risks early in regards to trying to get to the place you want to and still pick up the cards you want. But at the same time, if people decide to get in the way of that and deny you what you're after, it can be really hard to recover, seeing the fact, obviously, you lose that diplomacy card at the start. But managing to get pretty much everything you could have wanted, and then your unexpected allies is just so powerful to have in the end game when the wall's still up as well, and you've got that basic guarantee. Is a really good place to be. And yeah, similarly, I don't see what Irulan really could have done much more in this game. Like, if I was sat in their position, I'd have shrugged and say I did about the best I could with the resources I had, scored really well, and if Esteban gets to like 6-7 points in that last round, then kind of what you're gonna do, you just gotta sort of shrug and say so be it. So I think a reasonable 3 points. Then a little bit disappointed not to have taken this one down, but I don't see a ton else what they could have done with the draw out. If they find that Highliner access and manage to block Staban from getting to Highliner, it's a different game, but luck of the draw sometimes. Anyway, thank you much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves, have a lovely evening, and we'll see you, of course, in the next conflict for the tournament. See you then.